money, inner work that will change your life. We are working with the sex slave, the used sex slave child archetype. That is deeply ingrained in your unconscious, in the unconscious of the collective. And once we make it conscious, things begin to change for us. Most likely, if you're pressing on this video, you got some money issues, and this might be the culprit. The little, you gotta, in order to, okay? Does that make sense? Right, so, here we go. The story goes like this. You're a child and you're a sex slave, and your family is selling you to another for some money. Okay, the child's helpless, doesn't have any say over the situation. It's survival based. I'm going back years, okay? So this is how it was. We would sell our children, and we'd sell them for, you know, maybe $1,000, a little bit of cash, just to get us through, right? We would, here, you could have sex with my child, and give us some money for it. Because we need money to survive. We need resources to survive. And if we don't get the resources, we die. So they do these things. This is very primitive culture, very animalistic culture, but we are starting from there because, you know, it wasn't that long ago. Now, what gets ingrained in that child is, okay, my worth, my value, and my life force means nothing. It absolutely just means this little bit of money, and I'm just able to be given away and taken advantage of and used. This is the message that is ingrained in that child. Now, next generation comes. The child grows up, and maybe she has a child, but, you know, her child isn't a sex slave. She's like, all right, I'm not going to sell my child for sex, but I'm going to ship my daughter off so she could go work and make us money so we could bring us back. So the child now gets pushed off to go and work, and she's slaving away. She's working very hard. She's probably the hardest worker there, and she's getting paid nothing. Okay, very small amounts, but enough to get them a little bit of survival, so they do it. Once again, ingraining in that child now, okay, my worth is nothing. You know, I'm worth nothing. Well, my entire life force, all my energy, all my work is for just a little bit. So my self-worth is nothing. That's it. Okay? So she lives her life. She goes with that, that ingrainment. Next generation comes. Now, okay, she doesn't have a child that she sends off to work. She says, okay, I'm gonna, you know, have my child have a different life than me, try to give her a better life than me. So she gets a better job, this child. And this child now goes and works, and she starts to see, okay, yeah, people around me making some money. I could pursue this goal and make some money too, and work with the higher ups. We can maybe work in a business, in a business company, right, underneath someone higher up that could work with their work up the scale, work up the ladder, in order to get my resources and my needs met. I could do that. And I'm getting paid, okay, a decent amount. It's alright. It's a decent amount, but, you know, it's still just, you know, I'm just making ends meet. I'm really just getting by, and everyone around me seems to be okay with that, so I'm gonna do that too. And I'm not gonna ask for any more money. I'm not gonna keep on going in the direction of wealth because, you know, I already got enough to get by, and that's what's important to me, the survival. Like, if I can cover my resources, and that's enough for me. And once again, she's just kind of living out the unconscious program, not fully, right? She's like, okay, I could get a little bit more for my worth and my education and my time, so I'm going to, just because of this generation and where I live and the timeline that I'm in. I can get more than that, but still, you know. And basically she sees a job promotion, and I'm not going to go for it. I have all the skill, but I'm not going to go for it, only because I don't want to risk, you know, losing what I have, the security that I have. So I'm just going to stay here because it's safe. Again, keeping you locked in this paradigm. Okay, I can't get more for my life force. I can't keep on growing. I'm only worth this amount. Now, finally, this person has a child. Okay, this child grows up in this generation of the internet. Business, everyone has a business, everyone's making money on the internet, and she sees, okay, woman making lots of money, wealthy woman, abundant woman, have overflowing money. And so she starts a business. She's like, all right, I'm going to go to school, get some education, but I'm going to start a business. I'm going to start doing some business. And what happens when she starts doing business? She's like, all right, I'm going to charge a lot for my business. You know, I got this. Like, I'm going to charge what I believe is equivalent to this price of what I'm offering. And she goes and she chose to charge it. And in the moment she goes to give that price, her mind sabotages her. The program, the unconscious program, clicks in. Oh, I can't be giving that much. I have to charge less than that, or she's not going to want to work with me. It's too. I can't risk losing this person. I need to charge less than that. And even if she consciously knows, okay, no, this is a very valuable thing that I'm offering. I worked very hard for it. I'm ready to bring it out to the world. I have a very unique skill set. Her mind will not let her step into that if this underlying program is still playing out. So this prostitute, it's this sex slave child archetype. Really what it's about is giving without receiving equivalent value of that. So it's having to give a lot, but never receiving that equivalent value and that equivalency of return. And if this doesn't show up, doesn't show up in money and work. I mean, it's a very stark example in that way, but it shows up in relationships too with men. Giving away life force without getting anything in return. And it's like, okay, let's do the inner work. Let's like learn to receive. Let's like surrender into our feminine. You can't always do that. You can't always open and surrender to receiving if you aren't able to work with the saboteur and the prostitute, because these are very survival-based archetypes that are ingrained in the psyche. They're in the unconscious. And what do we know about the unconscious? It will run your life and call it fate unless it's made conscious. Right now, in my life, the saboteur is coming in very strong because I am transitioning into a new way of being. I'm growing in my business in the direction that I want to take in life, and I'm taking the steps there. And every single time I try to take a step there, the saboteur is like pulling my hair backwards. Like every time. Because of the role of it in the nervous system is to keep you in homeostasis. It doesn't care if you want to make more money. It doesn't care if you want to, you know, find a better partner that's more equivalent to you and more aligned with you. It doesn't care about that. It just wants to keep you the same. It wants to keep you the same no matter what. So it's a very strenuous process at times where you have to deliberately sit your ass down and face certain things within you so that you can know when it's coming up and you can catch it. Alright, so, I mean, I have an example that I can share from my story time and where this kind of brought into me. I have a business as a massage therapist, and a client wanted a massage, and I was like, okay, I have my set price, and I gave her that price, and I said, okay, this is how much it's going to be. But the client didn't respond after that. Okay, this is very key. The client didn't respond after that. So what did my mind do? It kicked in. Oh no, the reason she's not responding is because I charged too much. I have to lower the price. I have to make it less because I don't have enough experience to be charging this much anyways. And I really should be just offering it less anyway so that more people could have the work and it could be easier and more accessible for people that really need the healing work, and I could just offer it for less for her, so I'm gonna do that. This is what my mind did. And what did I do? I sent her a message and I lowered the price and I said, hey, like, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do this for you instead. And what did she say? Oh, sorry, I didn't see my phone. I forgot to get back to you. It had nothing to do with the price. It had nothing to do with the price. But my mind made it so. So the key message here is exchanging your life force for less than it's worth or less than what you are giving will uprise a deep self-hatred and frustration within yourself. Because you don't understand why you keep falling into this patterning. And it's such a deep survival program that will keep you broke and underpaid. And a lot of people are living that way. And so your job is to be the one to bust through it.